What's up? What's up?
Hey, how are you?
Good, good. Just
Good.
excited to be here and excited to be here with you mostly.
Me too. I'm so excited. Like it's Thursday, like a kid on Christmas on Monday. I was like, chop, chop, Thursday. Let's go. Let's
Get
go.
it. Let's get it. So everybody, like we do always here every Thursday at 11 o'clock, interviewing an agent that's crushing it in the industry, delivering great value as well. So I'm here right now with Nicole Ambrose. She's been killing it. She's building a huge network and just doing some amazing things in real estate. And I'm just happy to have you here today, Nicole.
I'm excited to be here. Super excited to be here. And thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, all right. So everybody has a real estate story, right? Where they actually started from and how they got into the business and things of that nature. For the audience, like, let's hear your story.
Oh my God. So the reason why I'm so passionate about new agents and I'm always trying to help new agents because I remember like that first 6, 7, maybe that first 7 months, I did not sell a house, didn't have a prospect. I was watching all the successful agents on social media and I'm watching them kill it. And I'm like, what is it that they have that I don't have? And James, honestly, like it was crazy. My self-esteem started like after that fourth month, my self-esteem started to get affected a little bit. Like, what in the world is going on? I was doing what I saw all the top producers doing, but it didn't click. It didn't work for me. So like I left, I was at a boutique brokerage, left that boutique brokerage, loved the broker, but it was just her and I and two other agents. So she was just a smaller broker and didn't really have the trainer. So I left there and went to KW. And when I got to KW, I decided to hire a coach. And my coach was freaking amazing. And it was a coach outside of KW. So um, nothing bad at all to say about KW. Loved KW, but the training still wasn't hitting home for me. So when I left and I went outside the brokerage to get my coach, he was just phenomenal and had gave me some tools about social media to like really just grow on social media. So this was 5 years ago. And I started going like to these parks, all the roughest parks in Atlanta, going live on social media in the park doing like home buying seminars and doing credit repair seminars. Now, I wasn't a credit repair specialist, but I had fixed my own challenging credit enough to know how to fix it, right? So I'm in these crazy parks in Atlanta doing these credit repair seminars. I would go to 3 different parks in the roughest sides of Atlanta at 8 o'clock in the morning, 10:30, and then I get to the other one like 12:30, 1 o'clock. To the point where I would be in the grocery stores and little kids would be like, Mommy, Mommy, look, it's the credit lady, it's the realtor lady, it's the credit lady. So I decided to really just follow my passion of who I could identify with. I remember being a single mom and not having any money, but wanting to buy a house, having challenged credit, college grad, terrible, horrible amount of student loans. And I just started attracting those people and really talking to those people and educating those people. And when I became an educator as opposed to a salesperson, my business just took off. That second year, I think I sold like 60 homes, and it's just been, I'm 350 homes later now, and it's just 5 years later, and it's just been amazing. But that first 7 months before I identified my niche and found something that I felt like was a problem in the world that I could solve, man, I was around here acting crazy, like, oh my God, baby, I made a mistake. I'm about to quit real estate. And if I would have quit real estate, these families that I helped would have they probably still would have bought a house, but it wouldn't have been a journey that I would have went on. Cause like I was one day about to say like I quit and I found my coach.
Man, I mean, that's a very awesome journey that you just talked about there. I mean, just the simple fact that just going through the 7 months of just kind of like trying to figure it out in your head and the doubt and all that other stuff. But you stuck with it. You went and got you a coach, and you went and got help. I always say like even for most people like if you aren't getting the results that you want, go find somebody that's getting those results and then just kind of copy what they're doing. And
Mhm.
that's what you did. You didn't give up, and now 350 homes in and rocking and rolling from there, right?
crazy. It's crazy. I look back on it like, man, this could have went a drastically different way if I would have quit. So just for any new agents that are out here, know that y'all near and dear to my heart and don't quit. Because right when you feel like you've had enough, keep pushing and your breakthrough is on the other side of you not giving up.
Yeah, yeah. So all right. So you got your coach.
Hmm.
You sell a bunch of homes the first year. You're off and running, and then all of a sudden, some other things started to change with you, right? Some
Hmm.
other people reached out to you, and can you tell that story and how you got to work, what you're doing currently?
Yes, absolutely. So, one really big agent at EXP had reached out to me. Won't say her name, but she had reached out to me and she was amazing. But at that time, I was like 2.5 years in, and my career was like here. So some of the stuff that she was saying was appealing to me, but she didn't hit my pain point in that conversation. So I almost left KW then and went to EXP. But then COVID ended up happening. And when COVID happened, Jane, even you, as strong as you are, I know when COVID first hit, you even had to be a little bit nervous, like what's about to happen. So they made us essential workers. Everybody was scared. I don't care how many houses you were selling, like,
Right.
oh my God. So COVID hit and I started diving into the investment arena. I started looking at stocks and doing, we was at home that month and a half. So I had hired somebody to show properties for me because I still was really scared of COVID. So I'm like, you go out there and get COVID. I'm gonna sit at the house and just orchestrate the plays from the back. So I was home like maybe 60 days. I literally stayed in the house. So I started dibbling and dabbling in the stock market and found out that it was something that I really liked. And then I came across EXP and I was like, during that 60 days, I was like, I have to figure out a way. And again, I have nothing at all. And I'm going to keep saying, I have nothing bad to say about KW. I loved my broker. I loved my team lead. They were absolutely amazing. Love them still talk to them today. But I knew the whole time that I was at KW that I was missing something, but I was too new to know what that something was and too experienced to not try and act on it. Right. So when COVID happened, I was like, I got to figure out some other ways to be able to make money still doing this real estate because I loved it. So when I came across in the stock market, I saw EXP was publicly traded. It took me back to a year ago with that conversation with the agent. So I started researching EXP more, and I jumped on the phone with another agent, and I was like, "Hey, talk to me a little bit about." And at that time, I'm like, "This EXP thing. Talk to me about this EXP thing, right?" So when I figured out the 5 ways that you can make money, I was like, "Bam, that's it. We're in the midst of COVID. Nobody really knows what's going to happen. I have to be able to make sure that." Every part of my real estate business that I'm capitalizing on it. We were already investing, Gerard and I were already investing. So we had that piece on lock. But I was like, this is an untapped market. And then when I got there and I realized it really wasn't an untapped market, I was like, sign me up to be able to make money from being a mentor, the stocks, recruiting, like the whole thing. And then I came to one of your events after I got there. Um, and I realized that it wasn't really about recruiting. It really was the attraction, like attracting people, like-minded people to your organization. So the whole thing was just amazing for me. So I knew at that very moment, and I had talked to Caldwell Banker, I had talked to Remax, I had talked to every broker, I had interviewed every broker trying to figure out because I knew I was leaving KW, I just didn't know where I was going. But when that EXP model came and somebody really set me down and they hit my pain point, the pain point is I'm a serial entrepreneur. So my pain point was that you could make money in multiple ways, multiple streams of income right here in this one business. Had I had known that year ago, I would have been at EXP already.
Yeah, man, it's amazing. Like you mentioned pain points, and a lot of times, we don't even really realize what our pain points are. We just
Mm-hmm.
think we're good. You're going along. You kind of know that there's something bigger for you, right? I mean,
Yes.
you're already thinking about that, but
Uh-huh.
nobody's really bringing nothing up to you, so you're just going along doing your thing. And then
Right.
somebody shows up and they're like, "Hey, have you looked at this here? Have you looked at that?" Everything shifts. The whole world shuts down for COVID. Then all of a sudden we're looking at different things, and like you said, that conversation that you had a long time ago pops up again, and it's like, let me take a closer look. Let me look deeper into this whole thing. And
Mm-hmm.
obviously, you did your homework. You start looking at other brokerages, and
Mm-hmm.
you obviously joined EXP.
Mm-hmm.
But let me ask, because I know, I was approached by a few brokerages as well. Caldwell Banker was one of them, a few other ones,
Mm-hmm.
and they were trying to give money, to actually join their brokerage. Was that a situation for you as well?
Absolutely. So one brokerage had offered me because that year prior, I think I had ranked. That was the year that I had ranked like the number 8 realtor in Atlanta for units sold. So one brokerage had there was a larger brokerage had offered me 80,000. One of the other ones had offered me 30,000. Yeah, they're offering numbers to get top producers to come over to the brokerage. Another one had offered me like 50,000. So the challenge with those things, when they offer you the money, they tie you into a contract. So I the money looks good, but then when you think about it, if you really have the right strategies in real estate, you can make $80,000 in a month. You can put, 4 deals, 5 deals, even if you're at a lower price point, you can put 7 or 8 houses together in a month and make that kind of money. So I said, if I really hustle hard the month prior, 2 months prior, I can make that in a month. I'm not going to lock myself into a 3-year contract or a 5-year contract for $80,000. That never made sense to me. So that's why that whole offering the money thing, I was like, yeah, it sounds good. And even offering the stock at one of the companies, the one that offered me 80 also offered stock, but it was just that contract that I couldn't get past. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to sell my 5-year soul to you for $80,000. No way.
Man, I mean, you'd be surprised how many people actually go for that. But I mean, if you really read the contract, I mean, all it is your production being spread out over, those 3 to 5 years. So you're really just getting your money back that not really they're paying you up front for the production that you're gonna do. So they're not losing. Believe me, they're not losing at all. I was offered the same thing. It was like $80,000 for that particular company. And at the time, I had already been in EXP, and I had already started experiencing the 5 different ways of getting paid. And I was looking at my numbers at that time, and it was like one time $80,000. At that point, I was already doing like 60,000 outside of selling real estate, and it was doubling, tripling. We're doing so much more now than then, and it was like, why would I do that? I mean, really, with this model, if you do it the right way, and we got some real powerhouses helping us do it the right way, right? If you do it the right way, you don't get paid. You don't pay to be at this company. You get paid to be at this company.
Yes.
And that's the experience that I've been having, and I'm sure you're having the same thing, right?
It was crazy. And by the way, I heard what you said about that 62. Let me borrow $20. But it's crazy. Like so the first 3 months, I didn't do my mentorship class. I didn't become a certified mentor yet. I really was just trying to learn the business, learn the ins and the outs, meet people, and really, really take a deeper dive into the organization. But once I actually took my mentorship class and then really got heavy into agent attraction, it was crazy. Like I was having checks coming from everywhere. Like I was closing on my own deals. Then my mentees were closing. So those checks was coming. And then I was getting all of those little pings, like my email. I had my email set up to ping whenever I would get stock and, looking at my rev share. Like money was just coming. And I was like, I got nervous. I was like, wait a minute. Is this what this whole, for, and at that time I was 4 years in real estate. I was like, I could have been here this whole 4 years doing this. Man, I've been playing games with my career because the money was coming so fast. And then even with the stock was coming. It started coming. The more that I started recruiting people, it was coming. Then my rev share check, the first time I had got a rev share check and it was like $4,000. I was like, what? All I was doing was out talking to people, and I don't hardcore recruit. It's not like I'm out saying, hey, come to these people. I'm not doing that. I'm really just going about my business, really showing people that it's a viable option, and that I'm making waves over here, that I'm being successful, and that the training is crazy. I don't know any company that's giving real estate agents literally 50 trainings a week. So you start putting the facts in front of people, and then the stock, how can you not? So really just telling the truth about who we really are, and that we as the agents own the company. People are like, what? And then we're in this virtual society. So for us to already have the world and to show people that, it's a no-brainer for a lot of people. So the people are, I don't even have to call people. They're calling me to come to EXP, and the checks are just like, I still can't believe it. I'm still like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, the company, the model has been. I mean, is they nailed it, right? I mean, they really did nail it. And
Hmm.
the main thing is that if we be honest with ourselves, like 100% honest with ourselves, as real estate agents in the past, we have been leveraged, and we've
Hmm.
been leveraged by the brokerages that we've been a part of.
Absolutely.
We've been leveraged by the franchise owner, the leveraged by everybody. Like we're at the bottom of the totem pole, right? And everything is our production. Everything goes up to everybody else. Well,
Hmm.
with this model, by you getting rid of the franchise owner, you getting rid of the managers, you're getting rid of some of all that overhead and stuff like that, and putting the agent on top, and having the company to support the agent, and creating an avenue where the agent can actually participate in what I call building a brokerage within a brokerage. I
Yes.
mean, that is a big, huge deal, and a change
Hmm.
agent for real estate agents. But more importantly than that, it's the alignment part of it. Never
Yeah.
before have I wanted more for somebody else to be successful than I do right now. Like you said, you brought people on board, and I already know your character. I know how you work. Like you're going over and beyond to help them sell more houses, help them to actually build something incredible. Because like y'all
Yes.
properly aligned, where you probably wasn't properly aligned when you was at KW. I wasn't properly aligned when I was at Metro Brokers. I mean,
Yeah.
I wasn't properly aligned. So I mean, I used to go to people and ask them like, "What are you doing to sell more houses? What are you doing to get listings?" And they
Hmm.
wouldn't give me their best. I mean, but at the same time, I have
Hmm.
to realize it's like they view me as competition. And this model, you're not competition. We own the company together. We're properly aligned together. When you do well, I do well. You know,
Hmm. It's crazy that you say that, because, and the only thing, because I was really only at KW, so that's really the only thing I can compare it to. So, but you could go to lunch with somebody every day, like y'all out on doggy play dates, like stay at that, and you ask them what their lead generation source was, it was like you shot their mother or something. Like people were like, I couldn't believe it. And it was like people that I actually had got close to at the brokerage, or they would tell you something and you would know, like, that can't be what you were doing. So now to have this model is absolutely crazy. And I have people that are, the luxury of this is that, I think now we're in like what, 17 countries, so we can bring people from anywhere. So I literally am on calls with people all across the country, where it's like, okay, what are you struggling in? Okay, what are you struggling in? Okay, let me tell you my best practices. And they're giving you their best. And it's the best of the best, like people who are doing like for real numbers, 100 million, 200 million. Like they are really willing to be on calls and be on Zooms with you to really give you their entire playbook with no hesitation, because they understand that we are only as good as our weakest link at the company. So we want everybody to rise. And if you don't make it at EXP, I just have to be honest, Jane, and I have to say it, because I do hear some people say EXP is not for new agents. Lies and garbage. Like if you don't make it at this company, it's because you're not plugging in. If you really plug in, we have so many areas that you can go and plug in. There's different Facebook groups, the Honey Badger group, we have the world, we have so many places that you can go and plug in, and that you can really get with people who, if you just put one foot forward, they're gonna bring you two. You put two, they're gonna bring you four. And it does not stop. As soon as you ask one person, even if they don't know, they'll say, I don't know, but let me go to this person in my organization. Let me go to that person. And people are really willing to help. So if you don't make it at EXP, I'm just like, I don't know where people will make it at if you can't make it here, because we have such a collaborative community across any borders. Look, do you remember we were at, I think it was a Tony Robbins event. I think it was the Bill conference, and
in
I think it
Dallas.
was the Bill conference. Yeah, I think it was the Bill conference in Dallas. Anyway, so the leaders had got up there and they were talking and they were like, well, my phone never rings. People, my cell phone number is really the cell phone number that's inside of, EXP Enterprise, and people don't reach out to me. They don't call me. They don't email me. But if somebody did, like, we would really help. So I was like, let me test this theory. So I went through my 7 levels when I got home, like a week later, and I called each one of them. And even the ones that didn't answer, really within that week, called me back like, how can I help you? But the crazy thing was, I didn't really have anything at that moment for them to help me with. I was just trying to see if they were really going to answer the phone. And Cliff Freeman was like, well, talk to me about your organization. I was like, I really, you guys said reach out, new here, been here a couple months, so I really was just reaching out because it's what you guys said that you were doing, to see if you would really answer the phone. So Cliff, till today, like once a month or like once every 6 weeks, he'll either email me or call me and say, hey Nicole, still haven't forgot about you, is there anything that I can do for you? And he's like my 7th level. Crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
the people that we have access to that we normally would not have had access before, or we would have had to pay tons of money to have access to. I mean, it's unbelievable how this model works in of itself. So you yourself, um,
Mhm.
had being the leader that you are, you've been able to partner up with a lot of agents since you've been over here. Um, tell everybody that number and how you're making that impact for those agents.
So I am roughly, in my organization, I've been here since June of last year. In my organization, I have a total of about 160 agents. I've personally recruited about 120, 125. And now my team is catching on and they're starting to recruit. But I really just, the same way I did in my real estate business, I am genuinely a servant leader. So I have really attracted people who are servant leaders. And now I'm really attracting people that are top producers that are out attracting people now and just doing the work. So for me, my attraction really comes from people where I tell my story. I talk about the fact that I really want to help people. And I really open my whole playbook up, James, to, like, on Mondays, we have meetings from 9 to 12. And we have broken our meetings out into experience levels. But I open my whole playbook up to everybody that's in my downline and anybody else, like people from, your downline, Mika, different people call me. I'll open my entire playbook up because I understand the seats that are for me, God has already prepared them. Like, I can give you my whole playbook and you're not going to be able to take away what God already has for me. So everybody that I've attracted to my business, I've opened my whole playbook up to them. The top leaders that I've recruited, they last week have started doing meetings with my downline to really give them the for real tools that they need to make waves in this business. And if you are an agent and you're not connected to somebody like James, somebody like me, somebody like a Levi, somebody in our organization that is really a servant leader and really willing to teach you the right way, you're doing yourself a disservice, because we're not holding anything back. It's like, here's the information. I'm giving you a whole roadmap of how you can be successful. And I had to pay $50,000 a year to get some people. I've done Tom Ferry, I've done Brian Buffini, like I was doing all of the big coaching programs. We're giving them for free what we had to pay for.
Yep, yep, absolutely. I look back at my numbers of when I was paying for coaching and CRMs and lead generation and all that other stuff, and now the agent just can just pop in, whether they knew or whether they're experienced or not, they can just pop in, plug in, and get all this stuff and don't have to pay nowhere near what we were doing before,
Yes,
in order to be successful. So
yes.
you know, but 125 people, man, that is amazing in and of
Thank you,
itself. I
bro.
mean, you are killing it
Thank you.
in the industry regarding that. And some people they say like, well, I don't want to recruit, or I'm not Nicole, or I'm not James, or whatever, in order to do this. And I always liken it to this: if you had a restaurant that you went to that you loved, and the food was amazing, the service was amazing, the experience was amazing, the ambiance was amazing, and every time you left that restaurant, you felt better about yourself. Are you not going to tell people about that restaurant? Are you not?
Everybody that'll listen.
Yeah, everybody's gonna listen. Exactly. Everybody that will listen, you're gonna tell them about that restaurant, and
Uh-huh.
that's basically like you said before. Like, you're not a recruiter, like you're just telling people about your experience, and because of your experience has been great, and other people's experience has been great, and you're sharing that opportunity with them. They're the ones that's coming on board, and that's how it's building and growing, and that's how you get to 125 people, which is once again amazing, Nicole. You're amazing.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
all right. So for somebody that because I mean you're building a huge network right now,
Mhm.
and you're just getting started, which is a huge thing in of itself. For somebody that is looking to achieve some of the things that you achieve, what suggestions do you have for that person?
From a agent attraction or from a real estate from their personal real
What
estate
kind of
business.
both? Let's do both. Like one from personal real estate, one for agent attraction. Because like first you were successful in real estate, and then you took that you saw an opportunity. You saw 5 different ways to get paid, and then you took that into another level with the agent attraction part of it. But it's not just agent attraction because you're like you said you're a mentor. You got stock. You
Mhm.
got a whole lot of other stuff. So what things would Nicole say that people should do in those two areas?
So the first part, let's talk about the actual real estate agent piece. This market is, and I didn't see the crash before, but for me being where I was 5 years ago and where I am today, this market is completely different. Between us going to, the things that are happening actually in the world, we are going to be sadly mistaken if we think that Russia and Ukraine and these countries that are going to war, if we think that that's not going to impact the real estate business even more than it's already being impacted. It's going to impact gas prices, lumber prices are already starting to see an impact of it. So in this particular market, you really have to define your niche, really zero in on that niche and perfect it. And you have to make sure that I just think that the days of an individual agent are going to be obsolete in the next couple of years. I think that you have to start monopolizing the market share. And what EXP offers us, and you don't have to go to EXP, but I suggest it because you don't have to join a traditional team when you're at EXP. You can come with a downline and you guys can monopolize the market share together as a group, but still keep your individual branding. I think it's going to be very, very important as we move forward in these next couple of years to be very strategic in your business. Align yourself with people that have already gone where you're trying to go and that will allow you to mimic what they're doing. I think that from also the standpoint of the agents are going to have to really realize that we got to get back to the basics. Social media is very, very important, and it's definitely I built my entire business the first 2 years on social media. But I think now we got to get back to the bootstraps. We got to get back to the grind. We have to get back to mailers and phone calls and expires and FISBOs and get back to the basics of business in addition to social media. I'm calling it the 6 layer approach. Social media, mailers, calls, texts, drop bys, like we have to do, and then marketing to our old clients. I think that we're going to have to perfect those things if we want to continue to be relevant because we've got real estate agents coming out of school in droves. And then we've got, in addition to thousands and thousands of real estate agents coming out of school every month, in addition to that, we've got a low inventory market. So you have to figure out a way to make yourself stand out. And the only way you can really do that is to monopolize your market. And you do that by marketing in every single area. You got to cross every barrier. Everywhere somebody goes in whatever area it is that is your niche area, your farming area, you have to make sure that those people, that your name is a household name, just like McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken, whatever it is. And you can only do that by marketing every single aspect of your business, even the little bandit signs. I've even got, look, I've got them right here for my people to take out. You got to have a little bandit signs. I got sellers ready, buyers ready. I don't know if you can see it. Like, you got to touch everything in this market. And I think being aligned with people like James, like myself, like the other people that we're aligned with that are really going to give you the for real strategic tools to be successful is what these new agents and experienced agents are finding, that is working right now. And you're going to see more and more power shifts where you're going to see top producing agents coming together to work together as one big force, as opposed to, because we're up against a lot of cash buyers too. So you're going to see a lot of top producing agents even banding together at certain organizations to make a difference in their business. But it's really going to be, strategy is going to be important, and marketing is going to be extremely important right now.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think you spot on with that. You know, somebody was telling me before, and I know it to be true. The best marketer wins. So in any market, any situation, even outside of real estate or whatever, the best marketer always wins, and that's what you got
Mhm.
to do in order to be successful. I mean,
Mhm.
Nicole, man, it's been freaking awesome. I mean, I honestly appreciate you. I appreciate what you're bringing to the industry. I appreciate you for
Thank you.
sharing. um, Once again, like I was saying before, like we do these every Thursday, interviewing an agent that's killing in the market, great value. And anybody that want to know more about how you can partner with me or partner with Nicole or just get more information about the real estate industry in of itself, just reach out to one of us. Information, our names and stuff is below. Once again, Nicole, thank you so much. You got to come back up when you hit that 300-400
Yes.
in the network, and then also just just sharing some more information a little later on. Okay.
And James, the last thing I just want to say this and is, when you partner with James, you get me automatically. So that's the kind of organization we have. So if you are out here, you're ready to make that switch. Once you join under James, know that I'm here also as a resource. And that's really how we roll as a company. We're all here together.
That's
James,
it.
thank you for having me. I appreciate it. You are freaking phenomenal. And I'm going to be reaching out to you so I can figure out now how I take this to the next level.
Let's do it. Let's do it. One team, one dream.
Period. Period.